Namaste. Today we'll analyze a chart that I've posted on the Facebook. However, I have not given the analysis there because there are a lot of astrologers who can contribute. I'm just giving my analysis here so that those who want to see how I analyze a chart, they can view it here. Now, what this chart is all about is that this is a male chart, and this person is having a severe hearing impair his hearing is impaired. Okay. The other thing he has is stammering issues, and then night blindness and severe anxiety. Okay, so these are the major issues in this chart. This chart has been a chart which I have been analyzing for a quite long time, and we have discussed it on other forums also. However, just my analysis I want to put across so that you can also contribute in case you have any additional points. I have used the South Indian format here. This one is a South Indian chart along with the Navamshas attached, because in South Indian chart we have the facility to attach the Navamshas then and there, and whatever is drawn in the green is the North Indian format. Okay, so this is how I have put it. So it's kind of a hybrid format where it becomes easier to analyze. Let us first look at why this native is facing problems in hearing. Why is his hearing impaired? This is something which we have to analyze. All right. Before we do any analysis of a chart, the first thing is to look at the lagna. The lagna here, the lagnesh here is Venus. He is in the second house. The lagna itself is hemmed between planets, graha, krura graha, Surya and Mars. So therefore lagna is hemmed. Lagnesh also is in the Maraka house. Second house is Maraka house. Okay. Now the Marakesh, or the second lord and the seventh lord, that means Mars becomes a Paramarak. So the second and the seventh lord, who is Mars, is also in Yuti with the Lagnesh. That itself shows major health issues. Okay. That said, let's go further. Hearing is, when we say hearing or ears, it is the third house and the 11th house. All right, so you can see that the 11th house has got Rahu, a papagraha, whose dispositor is in the 12th. Okay, number one. But more than that, we have to focus on this house. The third house, the ruler is Jupiter, Brihaspati. Where is Brihaspati? Brihaspati is in the fourth house. Brihaspati is Neech, that means debilitated. It is Vakri. First of all, when third house or sixth house or eighth house ruler is debilitated and Vakri, it gives more adverse results. All right, so we have to take that into consideration. Here he is going and sitting in the fourth house of mental peace, mental poise, mental stability. That means he's going to destroy that part also. Hence the person faces anxiety issues, because the third lord is Nicha, he is Vakri, and he is in the fourth house. The third and the sixth, you can see that the Jupiter also owns the sixth house. You can also see that the Jupiter's other house, which is the Pisces or the Meena Rashi, is occupied by a malefic Saturn. Therefore, one of the houses of Jupiter, even though it's sixth, of course it is malefic, but it is also occupied by a malefic graha, a natural malefic graha called Saturn. Though Saturn here is not functionally malefic, however, it is a malefic graha in natural malefic. So in that way, using the Saptarishi Nadi, we can say that yes, Jupiter will not give very favorable results. Now, that said, let's go further into the Navamshas. The Jupiter, you can see these are the Navamshas. Okay, Jupiter is in Gemini Navamsha. Jupiter is in Gemini Navamsha, which is also the Lagna here. Jupiter is in Makara Rashi in the D1 chart. From the D1 chart and Navamsha chart, you can see that the Jupiter has got a 6-8 relationship. 6-8 relationship. Okay, 6-8 means Shadashtaka. That means Jupiter again is very malefic. So let us calculate. Let us go back again. Jupiter is the third house ruler, who is Nicha, Vakri, and sitting in Kendra. Not good. Okay, it will not only destroy mental peace, it will not only create problems in hearing because it is third house ruler. All right, so these are the things. Again, let us see the 11th house. The 11th house is also the left ear. This is the right ear, this is the left ear. 11th house has got Rahu, which is a natural malefic, and this Rahu is aspecting the third house as well. Are you getting my point? So Rahu is aspecting the third house as well. Now we will go further. You can see that the Jupiter, again let me explain, Jupiter in D1 and Jupiter in D9 are in Shadashtaka 6-8 relationship. Not good as per Parashara. Okay, so therefore Jupiter seems to be very malefic. Now what is this Jupiter doing? Of course it is creating hearing impairment or whatever I explained earlier. But besides that, this malefic Jupiter, which is here, is also aspecting the moon and the sun, which is also the ruler of 11th. Therefore this malefic Jupiter is creating problems by aspecting the moon. Moon is mind, so it becomes unstable. Therefore the anxiety issues are there. That's number one. Again, Jupiter is aspecting sun, which is the ruler of 11th, the left eye. As a malefic, it is going to affect the 11th lord, who is again sitting in 12th. Not good again. All right. Jupiter also is aspecting Mercury. Mercury, is the for if you look at the KPC means the Kalpursh Kundali. The Gemini is the third house, and the ruler of the third house is Mercury. Mercury controls the nerves and therefore indirectly controls the hearing and the nerve pathways. Therefore, it is affecting the nerves as well, and therefore hearing impairment. All right, let us go again into the third house. The third house, as I told you, is aspected by Rahu. Look at Saturn. Saturn is sitting in the 6th house. Saturn is the lord of 4th and 5. That means it is a yoga karak. However, sitting in 6th, not a favorable position as far as the bhava are concerned. A bhava adhipati placement is concerned. Saturn is not in a good position. Naturally 6th house, if there are malefics, it is good for competition, etc, etc. But I am talking in terms of this particular chart where we are analyzing a health matter. So, and this Saturn is also aspecting the third house. All right, so the third house seems to be extremely bad shape. So from this chart, all right, coming to the karak, as far as I told you that the third natural KPC karak Mercury or Buddha in this case is Ucha, but it is with 12th lord and moon. Now see, the moon is 10th lord. As per Parashara, Kendradhipati, if there is any natural benefic, if it owns a Kendra, it becomes a malefic. Therefore, moon here is malefic. It is with the Mercury, who is an enemy. Therefore, again Mercury is not very well placed, and Mercury is in the 12th. again 12th natural KPC, if you look, Mercury in the 12th is not favorable position. Venus 12th is favorable, not Mercury. Okay, so therefore again Mercury, the Karaka for nerves, is not in a good shape. Let us look at the Navamsha. Look at this. This is where the Mercury is placed. This house is the Pisces or Pisces Rashi in D9. So the Mercury is, though it is Ucha here, but it is Nicha in the Navamsha. Therefore, it is not in a very good shape. Alright. So these are the basic points which I have analyzed here. Now the third and the fourth important point which I wanted to focus on is, as I mentioned, the Lagnesh is in the second house, the Maraka house. The Marrakesh is Mars, is a Param Marrakesh because it owns the second and the seventh house, and the Mars is sitting with Venus. Therefore, it is going to create problems in the health. Okay, which is like the person has got so many ailments, isn't it? But more than that, if you look at the Navamsha position of Mars, this is the Lagna of Navamsha Lagna, which is Gemini, Mithuna Lagna for Navamsha. The Mars is posited in fourth from the Navamsha Lagna. Fourth is the most malefic position for any Graha. Fourth means fourth in Navam, fourth Rashi when it occupies from the Lagna, it is very, very malefic. That Graha becomes a very malefic Graha. Already Mars is a Marak. It is in its own house, it is with the Lagnesh, and with this also it becomes more and more malefic. Therefore, the Mars is very malefic. The person at the young age itself from 2007 had Rahu Mahadasha. Let us look at where Rahu is. Rahu is in the house of 11. That means Rahu is in the 11th house. Obviously, it is going to create problem. But more than that, you can see in the Navamsha, the Rahu occupies the Amsha or Rahu is in Scorpio. That means Vrishchik. So Rahu occupies Vrishchik Amsha. That means Mars. The owner is Mars, isn't it? Therefore, Rahu becomes very malefic as well. Hence, the Mahadasha of Rahu is not going to be favorable for this person. As I told you, here the third house we analyzed, 11th house we analyzed. We also saw how the moon was afflicted because sun and moon together also is similar to what we know as Amavasya Yoga. It's not a very favorable position, and in the 12th it is certainly not favorable. Okay, so it means mental issues will be there, and hence the person is facing anxiety issues. Now the second house, as you know, has got Marak, and I explained to you why Mars here is extremely malefic. The malefic nature of Mars in the second house can also lead to stammering. Also, Mercury is the Karaka for speech. Mercury, though it is exalted, but it is with Sun and Moon, both are malefics. Okay, and it is Nicha in the Navamsha. Therefore, even the Karaka for speech is also not in a good position. Let us finally look at the fifth place and fourth place. See, for mental peace, anxiety, for mental poise or for peace of mind, Sukhasthana has to be good. In this case, as we already mentioned, Jupiter, which is a malefic, is in the fourth house and it's Vakri. But even the Ketu here in the fifth house can create problem because fifth house also rules over intelligence and emotional quotient, etc., etc. So this house also has got a malefic, and this Ketu is watching the Lagna by fifth aspect. So again problems. So in general, I have explained what are the types of problems this person is facing based on the D1 chart, and we took a look at the D9 chart and the Dasha, plus the other factors as well, why the aspects and everything. I hope this video was informative. If you have any more analysis from your side, you can always post it on the YouTube, or you can go to my Facebook because I'm going to post it in my Facebook. So you can also post your analysis there. Thank you very much.